We feel like AI in our status quo today is going to expand, and we feel like AI is going to develop in and of itself. But our side of the house will still firmly disagree with the given motion, and that we shouldn't just willy-nilly to integrate something in our status quo today, in our education system, for example, like AI. Firstly, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Andrea Rhizqy from the First Senior High School of Tuban. I would like to actually be the opposition side of the house today to disregard the motion on why we shouldn't just let AI integrate itself in our education system. Few backgrounds on our side of the house. We feel like AI is still going to develop in our side of the house, and we feel like AI is still going to be present in our side of the house. We just won't be utilizing it too early, and thus we shouldn't be actually just using AI to dramatically in status quo today. Firstly, we would like to keyframe that if you just integrate something to the masses, it's just going to create something more of a negative impact rather than a positive impact at the end of the day. First, mechanizations for our side of the house. We would like to actually contextualize and define what the few subjects here. Firstly, the few subjects, AI. What are AI? We feel like AI work as if it's an algorithm by implementing data or implementing some type of information using biases of the AI itself. We would like to also clarify that AI is actually just using these biases in order to create the information or to give out information in our certain data because they don't have human empathy, thus they can actually create information based on their own empathy. We feel like also there's two things we would like to highlight in the fact that these are the burdens for the government side of the house. Firstly, we would like to say that government side of the house needs to have reassurance for the citizens that they have no right to worry the fact that the occupation of a teacher will still be around or not, because we are still being questioned if teachers are going to be still present in status quo in later on if status quo does integrate AI in their educational system. Why? Because teacher is actually just one of the subjects between schools or learning process. There are two subjects in our learning process in a status quo today. There is our students and a teacher. If you put AI in the middle of it, it's going to disimbalance the beautiful balance between students and a teacher and their whole interaction in the learning process, because you want to have the end result to be more greater than usual. We feel like also their side of the house needs to prove that they're cost efficient also. We feel like their side of the house is not going to account the fact that they need to implement AI in a multi-scale national level or international level in their own side of the house. We feel like it's not going to be efficient much at the end of the day. Why? Because at the end of the day, AI is not going to bring much to the status quo today. It's not going to bring a new solution. It's not going to bring new ways to study a bit harder. It's just going to be a way of studying. It's not going to be guaranteed efficient more or less than the other ways of studying. First, arguments on our side of the house. We feel like this is going to be bad in status quo either way. Why? Because we feel like there's no need or urgency in status quo if you just implement AI as a way of integrating it in the educational system. First, 2 points on our side of the house. Firstly, in order to achieve Indonesia Emas 2045, we fully realize that we are capable as Indonesian citizens, or as many of the citizens that are trying to achieve their country to be well developed. In order to do that is to utilize education in and of itself by using learning process to get students involved and to get the citizens involved in the process itself, and not use AI as a cheap way of actually cutting surfaces just because you want to get to the end faster than usual. Second point, our side of the house. We feel like it's going to be bad on causes. Why? Because AI is going to be implementing in multinational level or multi-international level in the end of the day. What difference does it make? Point 2 on our second layer today. We feel like even if it's going to be integrated in and of itself, we feel like AI is not going to bring much to the table in and of itself, because it's just going to be a way of learning and not going to be a greater solution in any of the problems we have in educational today. Thirdly, what are the best case and worst case scenario? We feel like the worst case scenario on our side of the house, yes, we won't be implementing AI and thus we won't be cutting short way in our result at the end of the day, but we at least still have the want to learn and to be involved in a relational process between a student and a teacher, and to realize that process is more important than the end result at the end of the day. We feel like that is not going to be there in the government side of the house, and thus it's specialized on our side of the house. What are the best case then? I feel like the best case on our side of the house is the fact that we won't be too dependent on AI, and we won't be trying to take the easy way out in order to achieve the dream of Indonesia Emas 2045. Thus, we have the solution that we do not need AI to be a solution, and thus we are proud to oppose. Thank you.